what voice did I give him? All right, I'll tell you what you want to know. All right, I don't know the ins and outs too much. I've only recently joined the
1 sec.
Yeah, sure, no problem. I'm gonna just carry on explaining though. So he's like, I've only recently joined the Cult of the Dragon, but I know that we're gathering all this loot to offer to the Queen of Dragons when she returns to Faerun. The camp itself it's about 20 miles southeast. We found there's a cave there, right? And they found this cave full. I say full. It's not full. I assume it's not full, but we found a cave with these dragon eggs, right? And we built our camp around it. Of our leader, Resmir, she wants to hatch these dragons and use them when the time comes to take over Faerun. That's all I can really tell you. That's where they'll be headed.
Who's Resmir?
Resmir is the leader of this particular part of the cult. She's you know that thing that was did you see that thing that came with us? That ruddy great half dragon thing.
Blue guy.
Yeah. She's like him, but she's black. She's pitch black. She's nastier as well. She's a half black dragon, whereas he's a half blue dragon.
And those are they had.
I know they.
What's the other half?
They're very different.
You know much? The other half.
The other half. Well,
Very cocky bard.
I have no idea what the other half is. I don't know much about half dragons. All I know is they're half dragon. All right.
Put down very disappointed. Like, oh.
And he doesn't tell you anymore. He's like, look, that's all I know. All right, now just let them do with me what they're going to do with me.
Who is the Dragon Queen?
The Dragon Queen? You've not heard of Tiamat?
I'm a soldier. I can't say that myths and legends are really something I've concerned myself with.
Tiamat, she's the god of dragons. She's the dragon. Like, I suppose, I don't know if she's a demon or if she's a god or if she's a goddess, but she rules. She's a five-headed queen of dragons. Surely you've heard of Tiamat.
So she's a person with 5 heads.
Nah. She's a dragon with 5 heads. I know that they're planning to bring her back to Faerun, bring the dragons back to Faerun, and for them to rule under her, killing all else. And those that serve will be spared and will be given this place of honor in the new order.
There was a dragon here earlier, right? A blue one.
Blue.
Like a full dragon, not the blue guy. There was like a proper dragon.
Yeah, I don't know how they managed that. They managed to convince him to come along and fight alongside us. He wasn't. He's not.
He's only
part
got the one head.
Yeah, he's not part of the cult. He's a normal dragon. He's not got 5 heads. That's
Multiple
not Tiamat. I'll tell you what was his name now? What was his name? Lenithon or something.
Do any of these names mean anything to us?
No. I mean, you, as adventurers, you wouldn't have necessarily have heard of too many dragons. You know dragons exist. You know that they... I mean,
As a noble born, would I know
You
of much?
might have, yeah. If you can,
All right, you elitist
do
person.
you want to do a
Sorry, I have backstory.
do you want a history?
I've got a backstory.
Do a
I'm
nature check
pirate.
for me, dude.
A nature check. I
Mmm.
didn't
Because they're
Mm.
natural
Training that, but-
creatures.
15.
Cool. Okay, so you know that there are two main types of dragons. You know that there are chromatic dragons, your reds, your whites, your greens, your blues, your blacks. They're pretty much evil. And you've got your metallic dragons, your bronzes, your golds, your silvers, and whatnot. And they are benevolent. They are good dragons. They are the ones that can be that would not side with Tiamat.
We really should have stabbed that blue guy.
Okay.
Wasn't my fight.
So
Cool.
there's nothing else you wish to tell us.
There's nothing else I can tell you, mate. Honestly, I mean, if they find out I've told you this much, they're gonna have my guts for garters if I ever get back to them. As for what I actually know, anything else would be speculation.
I would like to reward him with his help by telling him the story of the great hero, Pat Tactics.
And as
I grab
you,
Polo by the scruff of the neck and don't let him tell the story.
and you just drag him out.
The world must know!
I tell you what, Polo, have a word with the bard and get her to pen a jaunty tune about Pat.
Pat.
Okay, so as dawn breaks,
I'm just gonna pop my hand on this guy and give him a little cure wounds.
yeah,
Yeah.
go for gold.
Okay, now we can go to sleep.
So you guys go and get some rest, and you wake
Long
up.
rest?
You can take a long rest again if you want.
It's quite a serious night.
So
I am pooped.
you are when you come out of the the stockade, before you go off for your rest, Governor Nighthill approaches you and he goes, "Well, what did he tell you? Did he tell you anything else?"
Yeah, loads. You guys were rubbish. No, I'm kidding. He didn't tell us anything. No, I am also kidding about that. You're not rubbish. You're all right, but we did get some more.
Do you know anything about a dragon called Tiamat?
No, it's nothing I've heard of.
Is there
Would
anyone
anyone
around
here?
here? Yeah, who'd know that kind of thing?
Any historian?
An old mage, perhaps?
No, not that I've-
Dragonologist.
A dragonologist? No, not that I can think of. I can ask about and see what we can find out.
I would, and if there isn't anyone, I'd be concerned as to who you have in your ranks.
Jade.
All right.
Right.
So you guys go off and take a bit of a rest. You're shown to some quarters where you can, probably a guard room or something like that, that you guys can put your heads down. You wake the following morning, or you wake later that morning, and as you come out into the courtyard, you can see rushing around. You can see injured, wounded people, because that's what they are. They're injured people or wounded generally. You can see soldiers, citizens, people being tended by medics. Governor Nighthill is standing. He's changed his shirt, and his arm is bandaged. If you remember when you first saw him, his arm was in a sling, blood down the side of his face. But he's receiving messages from guards. They're sort of running up, and runners are coming and telling him, giving him information, and he's reading these notes and then writing stuff down and handing it off. And
Could I ask him about the estimated death toll?
he says, from my force here, we've lost about 25 men, with another 12 injured to that
Gosh.
dragon.
Do we know
As-
about any civilians? Estimated for civilians?
Well, thankfully, most of them made it either here or to Temple of Shantae, which although it came under attack, it seems that they weren't able to get through. So luckily we had quite a lot of our citizens, our villagers were saved by seeking their faith. We're still counting the dead, unfortunately, but I think we gave them a swift hiding too. Well, with your help, we definitely showed them what was what.
I'm going to turn to my party and suggest that to avenge this mass loss of life and potential further losses of life, we should go to this camp and show them what life's really about.
Okay.
And what life's really about is death.
Exactly.
It's
Only
a
two
part of
certainties in life.
I'm going to hand out to everyone each a stack of pamphlets.
Death and pamphlets.
Death and pamphlets. Paper cuts, toys.
Okay. So Governor Nighthill says, I'm glad to hear you want to do that, but I'll be honest, we probably could do with more intel. That was quite a large force. I think
It's quite a large force.
I'm quite a large panda.
Okay. Well, he tells you that he says to you, you know, they need to locate the raiders' camp. They need certain information, and he offers to pay each of you 250 gold pieces. So that's each. He wants to know where the camp is sited, how many raiders are there, who their leaders are, why they're attacking, and where they plan to strike next. He says, now they've taken quite a lot of possessions from us, from people who are under my charge. If you can return that, then fine. If not, that is not the main priority. We can things we can replace. Of course, anything you'll need, any equipment, any provisions you'll need, we will provide for you.
I think our girl Leah here could do with a long bow.
Not proficient in that.
Yeah, nightmare.
I don't think I have the strength for it either, because longbows are a lot, from experience, harder to pull. It really hurts.
They do, yeah.
Fine.
In the
Do
real
you need
world, they
to
are
have-
a pain in the butt.
What's
Can
your-
I grab a sling?
Well, I could do with a short bow then. I mean,
Okay. I mean, I'll tell you what. Anything you are proficient in that you would reasonably find in an armory, which is pretty much all of the weapons, the martial weapons. I would
some
say you could
studded
probably
leather?
get yourself. Yeah, you get yourself some armor. Get yourself squared away. Why not?
be bristling with weapons.
You're Ramboing up. As you're,
I mean, I'd like some arrows. That might come in useful for me.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but as a DM,
Just
I'm
to
not,
keep the role play up. I've been firing arrows left, right, and centre. It's probably
Yeah,
right.
that's fine.
for
I
me
mean,
to
as
pick
a-
up some more.
as a DM, I'm not overly bothered about tracking ammunition, but you know, whatever you guys want to
For
do.
the realism, let's restock.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Liam's
think I might
frantically
need-
searching for a level up.
For the realism of yeah.
Just to
dragons
let you
and
know, Pete,
kobolds
I'm not
attacking.
cheesing you about. I've grabbed a sling and some javelins.
Cool, it's fine. Awesome. So, as you're preparing, as you're getting yourselves ready to head out after these this raiding party, a young man walks up to you, limping on his bandaged left leg, limping quite heavily. He says, I hear you intend to follow the raiders and see where they've gone. I'd like nothing better than to come with you, of course, but in this condition I'd only slow you down. In the midst of all this tragedy, there's no reason you would have heard about the fate of my master, Leosin Elanthar, but it's important you know. He's a monk from Burdusk. He disappeared last night after we fought a particularly savage battle against those little dragon men. A few others and I fought our way to the keep, but Leosin didn't make it at all. We went back this morning to look for him, but all we found was his broken staff and this choker, which he always wore.
What does he look like?
he's
We'll keep an eye out for him.
well, he is it's a good question. He says he's half elf, dark hair, bit of a goatee, and he's a monk, so looks like a monk.
Monkey, yeah.
He looks like he's very monkey, yes. By the way, my name is Nessin Waladra. Apologies, I'm all out of sorts here. Now, it's very important that you find him. Leosin has been investigating these raiders for months. He's been tracking them and following them, and I fear that he might have got himself in trouble infiltrating their group when they retreated, or worse, he may have been captured and carried away as a prisoner. No one understands these bandits better than he does, and his knowledge will be invaluable against them. When you find their camp, please look for any sign that he's there, and one of my brothers has already departed for Badus to bring back help, but I fear it's going to be too late, many days for them to get back here. Anything you can do before then would be a godsend.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll look for your monk.
And of course, I feel I must try and help you as much as I can, and I'd like to give you this this item, this gift to help, if you may. And what he hands over to you, and he hands this to you, Anna, or to Sid. He gives you quite a large, sort of like a 3-4 times larger than normal golden acorn.
It's bigger than all the other golden acorns I've seen.
On this golden acorn, you can thank Mr. Alan Bissett for this particular item.
Thanks, Alan.
So, all over this golden acorn are these claw marks, as if made by a small animal, but they're glowing blue. They tend to glow blue as you move this around. And Nessim says to you, this item will, if you speak a word, a companion will join you and to help you. And what he's given you
is a companion, a squirrel.
It's a squirrel. And he says to you, he says, all you have to do is call the squirrel's name, and he will appear.
Thanks. And do you want to write that down for me? Or...
No, it's very easy to remember. The squirrel's name is Derek.
Great. I will bear that in mind. Thank you.
I must warn you, Derek he's not like a normal squirrel. He's... how can I describe him?
Nutty.
He's a bit nuts. And so...
all of you.
And essentially what this does is, from a mechanic's point of view, is it allows you to cast once a day the Find Familiar spell.
Oh.
However, the only familiar that you can summon is Derek the squirrel.
Derek. Cool. Who's nuts?
Derek the slightly psychotic squirrel.
Just
Yay! I'm so looking forward to having Derek the psychotic squirrel spend time with
Question.
us.
Would the man not saying Derek twice summon with Derek?
No, you
He's
have
not
to...
holding the acorn.
He's not holding the
I've got
acorn.
Oh, he's not holding. Okay.
See? So, yeah, you would have to speak it to the acorn, and Derek will appear. And so I just want to very quickly give a bit of information about Derek, just so he imparts this information to you a little bit. He tells you that Derek is blue. He's a blue squirrel with these sort of Steve Buscemi eyes, and he twitches a lot more than normal squirrels, and occasionally as he's twitching, he squeaks. When he talks to you, because with Find Familiar, with that spell, obviously you get this telepathic link with these squirrel, with the familiar.
Does anyone want a telepathic link with Derek?
I mean, he's given it to you. So
Great, I'm gonna have a telepathic link with Derek. That's
you don't.
gonna
You
fuck
can.
me up.
You can have that if you want. And he's not psychotic so much as crazy, and he's manic. So yeah. And what